And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back. Whew. We apologize for the extended break, for the extended delay, but we have returned here with our next series with a best of 3 between these two lovely players. This is the round of 16. As a reminder, the next round, the quarterfinals, the round of 8, that is where the best of 5s begin. That is where the qualifying matches are held. But until then, we have this best of 3, and spawning in the top left hand corner of Golden Aura, we have the Canadian Terran player representing the Juggernauts, or a Juggernaut. It is Jason. And spawning in the bottom right hand corner, we have someone who I have not casted in months, in a year actually. It's been a very long time. We have the Brazilian Protoss player representing Team Hellfire. It is MasTeR. Fala galera. Fala galera, papi. Obrigado. It has been a very long time since we have had the luxury of casting MasTeR. Again, we saw him rise through the ranks. He's a very young player. He was good friends with Yanji back in the day. Yanji, of course, being back in 2020, I think it was like 15 years old, being a young up-and-coming GM player in the Latin American region. And MasTeR was able to rise through the ranks and hit that upper echelons of play. And I would say that he is one of the favorites coming in. I would have said he's one of the favorites coming in if this was last year. But MasTeR, like many players, has taken a step back. Like many players, he has kind of semi-retired in a way, and he hasn't been competing in a long time, and he has, you know, stepped away from the game, only recently returning for the qualifier. So the question becomes, in the limited amount of time that he's been back, how good is he? How in form is he? As he's gonna try to work his way through this eBay. The eBay. Oh no! We get a second eBay go. Oh my god, we need to expand elsewhere, Papi. We cannot work through this. It's not gonna happen. It's not gonna work. Ay. 2 eBays back to back, and the Reaper has arrived as well. We should be seeing a cancel on one of those eBays, and this is a big delay for MasTeR. Now, we've seen this before. If an SCV gets across the map, and if we do get enough progression on this eBay, it is advised, heavily advised, for the Protoss player to expand elsewhere, because it's just not worth it. It's not worth making the Zealots and waiting this long to expand, because everything else is delayed. The tech is delayed, the economy is delayed. MasTeR is going to be behind after a disastrous start. And a beautiful opener for Jason. Again, MasTeR was stubborn, and Jason took advantage of him. Dips into the main base. Jason gets eyes on the tech of choice. It's going to be a Twilight Council opener out of MasTeR, not a Stargate. And we're going right into Blink. We're going right for Blink. Behind this, we are getting into a 2-on-1 setup. Eventually into a starport. Bit of a delayed expansion here from Jason, safely on the high ground. Going straight for a third Rax. Actually, big delay here on the starport for an abundance of bioarmy. Okay, Jason being very aggressive early on. Initially Cyclones, followed by Hellions. Zealot does get across the map, is going to delay the push for a moment here, but Jason is looking to snowball out of control. He's already got a lead after such a delayed base, and now he's arrived with some Cyclones. He gets a lock on, he takes down one Stalker, and he wants the other. Doesn't want that Stalker. Probes are going down one after the other, and this could be a short game. It could be over here and now as we focus down the shield battery. Shield battery will finish. And it is within range of those Stalkers. One Cyclone goes down. We are down to 1 Cyclone remaining. The target firing. As we barely do get the second Cyclone as well. Jason, he just dives into the main base. He's looking for some economic damage, and the probes, they line up. They do line up. And 10, 11, well, 13 workers go down. This is game-ending damage. 14 probes, 15 probes. And Jason is sitting back pretty. Behind this, we saw those Raxes earlier. We have the factory as well. We're getting into tanks, marines. MasTeR, he doesn't have the economy to sustain himself. It is a 4-gate Blink Stalker opener. Blink is about to finish. but he is down to 23 workers. He cannot warp in 4 stalkers at a time. He doesn't have the money for it. He just can't, straight up. On top of that, there's no war prism, right? Yeah, there's no war prism either, so MasTeR is stuck at home. And these stalkers, they can't do anything. they cannot push in. They cannot engage with those tanks. Jason. Damn. Maybe in my brain I set the bar low, but mate, Jason, he's been popping off today. He looked good. He looked strong, powerful against Eon, and even here he's in the driver's seat against MasTeR as well. Ay. Jason that I have not seen before. Behind this, MasTeR is working on charge as a follow-up to Blink. Should be working on a third base, I guess, as MasTeR is attempting to macro out of this, but the army from Jason is looking nigh unstoppable. 3 tanks, boys are being pulled to repair and even throw down bunkers. MasTeR is attempting to expand. The stalkers do spot the move out. MasTeR knows, he sees. Can he stop it? Maybe. Charge is about to finish. That's a lot of zealots. We could potentially collapse on this army if we do catch it unsieged, but it's gonna be close, Bobby. It is gonna be a close one. As charge is seconds away from finishing, we dive on the army. The tanks, they do siege. Stim is not done. Bear that in mind. And the zealots, they do collapse on this. They take down 1 tank. They take down a 2nd tank as well, and it looks like they can get the 3rd tank. Just barely. MasTeR will hold. He does not get the final tank. Jason, he's able to unsiege in time and manage to get out of there with a couple of surviving units. Well, at the same time though, oh my god. Oh wait, no, so yeah, I was like, did he lose workers back at home? No, he pulled boys. He lost those 7 ACVs in the attack. And now suddenly, MasTeR's looking better. He's looking okay. And again, you know, I didn't hype him up for no reason. I said earlier that MasTeR, he rose through the ranks. I would say that at the moment, he's the best Protoss in Latin America. That was once held by Paco Mike, but Paco Mike is more inactive than MasTeR. So MasTeR has kind of taken that title from Paquito. And MasTeR is recovering. He's up to 41 workers. He's on 3 bases. He gets away with his 3rd, getting into Immortals, getting into Chargelots, and yeah, MasTeR is not going down without a fight. He is not going to be done dirty as, oh my, we're going for a 2 base all in, and we're scouted. Now, MasTeR, he may see the 2 base all in coming, but that doesn't mean that he can stop it, because he has no splash damage. No Storm, no Disruptor, no Colossus, no Archons. He has to rely on a charge lot based army. He's got a couple of Sentries for force fields, and they can help. They can help. They can buy time, but the all-in is upon us. We spoke about this before, but Golden Aura has a very short rush distance by ground. All-ins are ideal. The force fields, they do buy some time. But the tanks are sieging. The Zealots getting ready for a full surround. The bunker is throwing down to help deal with that. Well, as the Zealots, they do get onto one of those tanks. They take down 1 tank, but the choke point is real. The Zealots, they melt. GG gets called. The all-in is too much. And Jason takes game number 1. Whew. GG. The killer instinct is real to go for the follow-up all-in. Very wise choice, considering the fact, hold on, I do need to fix this up, but considering the fact that, of course, Jason did scout, and he knew ahead of time that, of course, there wasn't going to be any kind of Colossus, no splash damage follow-up. Without any splash damage, the all-in is real. There you go. GG, well played. And yeah, MasTeR, he takes the lead in the series. Sorry, Jason takes the lead in the series. It's going to be on MasTeR to fight back, to pull himself back into this, and to force the ace match. Oh. Here we go. But a good start. A strong start here for Jason nonetheless. As we are getting ready for our next game. It looks like we need to take a moment, though, to set things up. Oh, as game 2 is on Oceanborn. Oh my god. My apologies. Alright, getting ready for this. Oh, and we're going to be joined by Cosmos. Let's go. Fala galera. Siempre, papi, siempre. Fala galera, papi. Shout out to Cosmos. Cosmos, for those who don't know, he is the biggest, the largest Brazilian caster out there. He's the biggest Brazilian caster out there, and yeah, he is of course covering on his own personal channel as well. Is casting on his own channel, and yeah, he will be joining us. Of course he will, as he's always here to cheer on his countrymen, to cheer on his boys, players like MasTeR, Shaq T back in the day, Terran as well, Diego, Eric. A lot of love for the scene. A lot of love for Cosmos. That's all love. Oh, the eBays. Exactly. See the chat catching up. And yeah, I guess because we have to take a moment here to wait for some of the players to prepare themselves. We can catch up here with the bracket as well. Do we have any other major updates? Epic has been waiting for a while. He's waiting for the winner of Maples and Ray Rain. We have Foxer versus Meower Doom. That's honestly a pretty solid matchup. I wish I could split myself up and cast everything. Foxer versus Meower Doom. Gonna be facing off. Winner against Riser as well. Ooh, maybe I can sneak into those upper qualifying matches once we wrap up with our own qualifying matches, as it looks like we have a player waiting for the winner of this series. The winner of Jason versus MasTeR will be facing off against Jingming, who I have been seeing him. I think he's on Platinum Heroes, right? I think he's on one of those teams. He's not a familiar face, like as in the competitive scene. I haven't seen him compete before, but yeah, I have had my eye on him. He is a GM. And he's been active in a lot of these other community events. And it looks like he may be on LTK. Let's have a look. He's been in the Vulcan Cups. As I scroll down a little bit, and yeah, he has been competing. So we are just still getting ready here for this series. As I hope everyone in the chat has been enjoying themselves. So those who maybe aren't aware, this is the final open qualifier for the day, but we have another tomorrow. So even if you're a fan of some of these NA and Latin American players, and if they don't make it through today, again, it's single elimination, so very cutthroat, but if they don't make it through, then they will be available tomorrow in the second open qualifier of this event. Again, there's going to be a second open qualifier for every region, for Asia, for Europe, and for the Americas as well. So, you know, don't fret. They have another chance. Likewise, if there are any players that you don't see in the qualifier, if there are any players that you don't see in qualifier 1, then maybe they'll be here for qualifier number 2. As the players are just trying to sort out their servers. So those wondering, we're alternating between US East and Brazil. We're alternating back and forth between the two regions, between the two servers. And a lot of players actually have firewalls blocking servers to make sure they don't get them when they ladder. It is very common for a lot of like these GM players to, for example, block Australia, block Brazil, block Singapore to make sure they don't actually play on those servers whenever they're laddering. That does occur, and it looks like Jason is just trying to unlock Brazil and trying to make sure that it can actually be allowed to be played on. As a fun man, as a fun fact. Fun fact, puppy, fun fact. But I guess for the time being, we may just go on a short break. It's not ideal to go for a break here in between or in the middle of a series. Oh, no, we got him! Yo, let's go! Never mind. Jason, he has arrived. He's made it here to the land of Brazil. Let's go. We're loading into game number 2. You can hear the beeps, Poppy. You can hear the beeps. And we are going to be taking a bit of a trip under the sea into Oceanborn. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of Oceanborn, we have the Brazilian Protoss player representing Team Hellfire. Down in this series, but not out, not by any means. It is MasTeR. And spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the Canadian Terran player representing himself, but he is a bit of a juggernaut. One game away from advancing onto a qualifying match. It is Jason. And how did I miss? Am I losing it? How did I miss this? But a big shout out to Lock175 in the chat. Thank you so much for resubscribing for 7 months. Thank you, Papi. Thank you. We appreciate the support. We always do. And I hope you enjoy the content. Hope you enjoy the emotes. Hope you enjoy the replay packs and everything else we provide. Gracias, Papi. Gracias. Mentioned it before, but all the money that we make on our channel does go towards our tournaments. So we appreciate it. We do appreciate it. Gracias. It's 10 a.m. Light has been casting all night. Let's go. Out of this in Asia. As we are getting into our second game. But it's in chat. Yeah, it is 10 a.m. It is 10. We've been casting since 12 hours. Yeah. Unironically. We started last night at 10 p.m. and now it's 10 a.m. We made it. Full circle, Bob. Full circle. 12 hours. And it's not over yet. It's not over, Bob. It's not over. And yeah, for now, we are getting into our openers. It is going to be a gate expand into a cyber core. So very standard stuff here out of MasTeR. Thankfully, this time he's able to expand. This time we don't have a massive eBay block here at the natural base. Regular expansion out of MasTeR. He can get into a smooth early game or smoother early game. Hopefully. Meanwhile, Jason is going to be actually mixing things up here. Is going for a 1-1-1. In the previous game, we did see him kind of delay his starport in favor of additional Raxes and additional Marines, but alas, this time is going for something completely different. Ooh, even changing his mind for a moment as well, going for a safety Cyclone before he does commit to anything else. Again, Cyclones in the early game of TVP are quite impactful. We even saw that last game where Jason rushed into 2 Cyclones, into 2 Hellions, and he snowballed out of control and he roasted up that mineral line, wreaking so much havoc in the bases of MasTeR. As the Reapers dip in and we get a full scout, we confirm the tech of choice once again, Twilight Council. So a solid scout here out of Jason, confirming that Blink should be on the way, and there it is. Blink is now in production. The Reapers try to dip into the natural, but they are going to be denied for the time being, and with this 1-1-1 opener, we are setting up a drop. Medevac is on the way, Marines, Cyclones as well. And this time, MasTeR, he's actually going to be able to get into his builds. If you weren't here for the previous game, it was a disastrous start. It was a rough game for Matt. He couldn't play StarCraft. He couldn't play StarCraft. There was a double eBay block in his natural. He got scouted. Hellions rushed in and killed a bunch of workers. Like, it was just a really rough game overall for MasTeR, and he died to eventually a 2-base all-in. But it was rough from the get-go. This time though, his economy is looking solid. He's on 2 bases. He's getting blink. But he's only got 2 gateways. He has a 3rd gateway on the way, so we can have some map presence. But here we go, the drop has arrived, and Jason goes straight for the main. He's going straight for the pylons as well. There are 2 pylons, thankfully, so Blink should be able to remain powered, and it should finish up. As the Cyclones push in, we get a probe. Oof. But Jason does get cleaned up. And I don't think that was quite worth it. We can see here he lost his Reapers, his Hellion, his Cyclone for what? For 1 pylon. 1 pylon and a couple of workers. Pretty big commitment here out of Jason, and it just was not quite worth it. But back at home, he's transitioning, getting into a 3-rack setup, 3-1-1. Very standard production setup here on 2 bases in TVP. He's already got his Raven. Something very interesting to take note of is that he did get a Raven, which helps against something like DTs. But Disable will not be available, and we are working on a Robotics Bay. Those wondering, Interference Matrix now has to be researched independently for the Raven. It is not, it isn't there by default, I should say. It isn't an ability that the Raven has. It does have to be researched instead. So Jason won't have that available, just auto turrets and the anti-armor missile. Behind this, MasTeR taking his 3rd base, taking up into Colossi, as we were saying. There we go, first Colossus is in production. Charge is on the way as well, and we are getting into the mid-game, Poppy. Oh, let's go. Let us go. I was concerned. I was a little bit concerned earlier, especially with how game 1 went. But here we can see MasTeR really spread his wings and fly. I don't think game 1 was really indicative of the skill set of MasTeR. It was just, again, rough from the get-go. He was behind from almost the beginning of the game, and MasTeR had a lot to overcome in game 1. Here, he poses a greater threat to Jason. Behind this, we can see Jason being set up here on 2 bases. With this tank spread, it means that if MasTeR ever tries to blink into the main, he will be punished for blinking into the main with that tank setup. Marines and Marauders, they have pushed out. Oof. Big snipe though. MasTeR takes down the medevac. Again, very nicely done here from MasTeR. He's already got 1 Colossus working on his 2nd. Likewise, Jason throws down a 3rd CC, so he is not going for a 2-base all-in. Not this time. We're headed towards a longer game. And Jason, he wants to break out. He wants to break free. He now has Stim, which means he can. Stim does finish up. But he's going to be going for a double drop first. At the same time, some auto Tartaras across the map. Ooh, 3 probe kills, and we're going to get some more. Very nice damage dealt by by Jason. He's well set up at home. Across the map here comes the double drop towards the main base, and with this Templar Archives, it looks like we are making our way towards Archons. We could even start researching Storm. Storm in conjunction with Colossi could be terrifying. Kind of work quite nicely. For now, the Auto Tartaras continues here at the natural. We do not commit to the drop into the main. We do spot those Stalkers ahead of time, and the Colossi have been revealed. Speaking of, we do bling on forward. We do focus on 1 of those medevacs, and we do not get the 2nd. But 1 full medevac full of units does go down. Jason only escapes with the other. And again, MasTeR's been able to keep up. He's able to saturate his 3rd base. Jason just now getting his own 3rd up and running. And MasTeR's just building up his forces. Now, he only has 1 robot producing, and I'm a little bit concerned. He does have 2 Colossi. We could do with more. We could even start working towards Disruptors afterwards. On the mines! Big connections. So I'll say take a lot of hits. I take a lot of damage. Observer is on the way, and it should arrive in time before the mines reset. As MasTeR decides to take a 4th base as well. My oh my. Fourth is on the way. At the same time, Jason getting ready here with a triple drop as he doubles down. Gonna be committing hard here into the main base, and what can he get done? We have another drop being set up towards the natural as well. A couple of probes are going down. For the most part, though, MasTeR is able to rotate over and keep up. Oof. And yeah, this drop is going to get cleaned up. At the same time, we do have another drop here towards the natural base. But what is Jason really accomplishing here? He's depowering some of these buildings. He's getting some pylons. He does pick off a couple of probes. But MasTeR still maintains his economic lead. And those are some costly trades. Up. He's going to force a cancel. Ooh, that, oh my god. That was a close cancel there. Very close from MasTeR. Doesn't lose it though, thankfully. Wasn't a kill. That's what matters most. And MasTeR has lost 31 probes over the course of this game. I did take note of the auto turret going ham earlier, but I didn't expect this many. Ay, ay, ay. Oh my god, the mines, they pop off here in the main, getting another shot off. Meanwhile, Jason now focusing on his push, and because he's done so much economic damage, his macro is getting out of control. MasTeR, I don't know if he can keep up. He does have a couple of disruptors with some solid novas he can defend. But that's a big if. He does spot the army. MasTeR, he rotates on Nova. We have 3 novas in the chamber. There's the first. Oh! Decent connection. We have 2 more as well, and they will not connect. The tanks are just going ham here on the ground army. And there's the third Nova, and it looks like Jason has too much. This base will go down. That's a kill, not a cancel. And MasTeR pushing into tank range like this. Ay, ay, ay. Good target firing out of Jason. He focuses down the Colossus, the disruptors, one after the other. Oh, a bit of miscontrol out of Jason. He does end up losing a lot of his medevacs. But he commits into the natural base. Auto turrets are to be thrown down. Jason actually going into the main. Oh my god. Oh, almost losing that Raven in the end. But it's just too much. GG gets called. Jason does it. He pulls MasTeR apart. And he will take the series 2-0. Advancing on to a qualifying match. GG. GG, well played. Jason has been popping off today. Taking down Eon, now taking down MasTeR as well. Again, here in game 2, MasTeR, he was able to pose a greater threat. He was able to keep up with Jason a little bit longer. But the drop harass, I was concerned that Jason was throwing away too much. But clearly, the economic damage was worth it. Clearly, over the course of the early to mid game, he had killed 30 workers. And that was enough to set him ahead. That was enough to facilitate for him to just build up this push, this almost death ball of an army with this massive push across the map. And MasTeR, he couldn't push in, he couldn't engage, not against all those tanks, not in that position as well. And that position is a deadly one, specifically when trying to take that that triangular fourth base towards the center of the map on Oceanborn. Because there's high ground right next to it, you can see how deadly that is and how those tanks can just take full advantage of that position. As Jason got out of control. Got out of control, and yeah, Jason, he makes it into a best of 5. Will be a best of 5, and we're gonna need a moment to get ready for that. We're going to need a moment. It's gonna be Jason versus Xingmin. Xingmin. Oh, I'm gonna have a hard time pronouncing this name. But yes, we just need a moment to set this up. So yeah, with that, we're going to be going on a short break. When we return, we will have a best of 5. See you soon. See you soon.